Why does love, the absence of love, the end of love, the need for love, result in so much violence?
It was all waiting to happen before it happened. You could look back and follow the breadcrumbs along the path that led to violence. When we looked back, it had been everywhere.
It is a part of our faith to forgive. We would be forced to leave the colonies if we do not forgive these men.
None of you will listen to reason.
We know that we've not imagined these attacks. We know that we are bruised and terrified.
Hope for the unknown is good.
Michelle, I was knocked out by your performance in Pat Mills' film, Don't Talk to Irene. Just loved it. And of course, here you just go right to our hearts, women talking. So 2 films about talking, vastly different. You have tremendous screen presence. Are you kind of aware of that?
Wow, that's a very, very nice compliment. First and foremost, thank you so much. I do my best. I mean, I try to always put my best forward, and I am passionate about my work. So I'm glad to see that it's coming across.
You play a young woman in a closed religious community who is suffering from panic attacks, and she smokes, which nobody else does in the community. And of course, these are all her ways of trying to, she's just very young and she's trying to deal with generational abuse. Now, it's a big responsibility for you as an actor. You're representing really all women in danger. You're representing this woman in this religious society and in a way, the men. So tell me about that. Did you think about that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. From doing the research for this project and understanding where all of this material was generated from, the true life events, I knew going into this audition that it was very vulnerable stuff and had to be dealt with care. And I felt like this was a great opportunity, having learned about mental health myself and having gone through the ups and downs and my own personal traumas when it comes to emotional abuse and, just some things that you don't even recognize as abuse as a woman, because you just think you take it because this is your job to keep silent. It's like what they say in the movie, the boys are excellent students and so are the girls. And that hit home to me as a reader and a participant and also an audience member. And so it's not taken lightly. So I'm happy to see that it was translated. And I wanted to show a little bit about how the mental health has affected me and how I can bring that to Mayal.
Oh, that's wonderful. We think about the women who are in these communities now. And very little chance of them getting any kind of help. People don't want to intrude on them. The isolation and all of that. It's just heartrending. And the women, of course, are thinking about leaving everything they've ever known. Did you envision a future for them?
It's interesting. I haven't really envisioned a future for my character or each and every character because I think their idea of future is different. But what I did kind of piece together during the process of this film and seeing how Sarah put it together was that it's a very terrifying thing, as you're saying, like leaving something, and any kind of change in general is hard. Even if you reflect back on your own life, any big change in your life always puts you through a whirlwind and you become stronger for it. That's kind of how I feel with Mayal. I feel like this was her opportunity to kind of get a new perspective. And even though she's leaving everything that she's ever known, by seeing the older women talking and how they've lived their life, and her sister and her mother and the traditions and things, it kind of gives her a little bit of hope to find some peace. And through this trauma will come good. Always through trauma comes good, in my opinion.
I agree. I absolutely agree. It's all about growth and possibility and surviving, right?
Exactly.
Sarah told me this about you. Michelle is so naturally funny and such a complex, interesting actor.
I just got goosebumps. That's so oh, Sarah. Oh, I love her. She's so cool.
Just amazing. Now, watching her work, did it give you a bit of a bug to make movies?
No, I think I am. It's not that I don't admire what they do. I truly admire directors and writers and all those people that it takes to actually make a movie. I am truly drawn to the emotional side of things. I love diving into a character. I also love language. I love reading. I love being able to use my past experience and my emotional reference experiences in a character. That to me is what percolates my brain. But for someone like Sarah, her vision on anything is just so in depth and so amazing and so beautiful. It's the way that she can conceptualize things, and she's so woke and intelligent. There's just an eye there that I think that is very particular to people who make movies. There needs to be that kind of understanding of the world, the actors, each layer, the language. The language is so important in any kind of medium. I don't think people realize how particular the speech is and what brings someone to say something is. I support people who have the ability to kind of see the bigger picture. I definitely have ideas and would love to learn more, but I think my passion lies in a moldable feature for someone who's trying to create a medium. And I really pride myself on being able to work collaboratively in that way and bring my reference experiences to characters, because that's kind of what gets me excited.
But I'll tell you something, listening to you talk, I think you could write.
Oh, thank you.
No, I really do. I think, yeah, you've got it down and you recognize things for what they are. So that's amazing. Do you feel kind of funny knowing that people around the world and voters and film elites and men on the street can see you now?
Yeah, it's kind of awesome. Like, I'm honestly just so proud. And I'm really happy that I have the opportunity to kind of be on the same playing field of these amazing other women and these amazing actors and part of this crew. To be chosen to participate was just an honor in itself. And I'm happy to be a part of a movie that generates conversation. I think as an actor, you can go through many different paths, through different forms, through different stories, but there's only a small handful of stories that will be kind of timeless in the film industry. And to have been a part of one that I truly believe that will be studied and talked about for years to come is such an honor. And honestly, if I even fathom this dream as an actor, which is just so out there that I don't even think I could have thought it myself, I feel like I have achieved a really big goal and a really big dream, that is that we have made something that will stand the test of time, that will keep having people have conversations about. And that to me is like better than anything in the world.
I've seen it a number of times now, and every time there's something new and rich about it. It brims with meaning and people, and you talked about the language, and of course these women are very efficient with their language, so that's extra writing focus. What an accomplishment. I think the truth telling of this film may have scared some people from going to see it, but I agree with you that it is forever. People
Absolutely.
are going to respond.
Yeah, I definitely can see it's intimidating. I even had a few friends reach out to me, intimidated to see the film because they're afraid of seeing the trauma, because the story can be misconstrued as kind of dark or traumatic if you don't dive into it. But once you actually get in front of the screen and start watching this film, you notice it's not about the trauma. We don't actually show any of that because we don't want to traumatize the audience, which was a very great decision on Sarah's part. But it's about what comes from that. How do you deal with that, and how do you move forward? Basically, about personal growth and self-respect. I think once this movie gets a little more footing, people will realize it's not something they need to be intimidated by. It's not something that's going to dampen their day. It hopefully will bring some light and some hope and generate conversations. I mean, I think that's kind of where the misconception is.
You know, you talk about not showing what's happening, the traumas, but your scenes in the panic attack, they tell it all. Your face is transformed and we feel it so deeply, and that's a much better choice than what we were talking about.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Michelle, what a joy to speak to you. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Anne. I really appreciate all this and for you to take the time to chat with me about this.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hope for the unknown is good. It is better than hatred of the familiar. And we cannot endure any more violence.
We have been preyed upon like animals. Maybe we should respond like animals.
How would you feel if in your entire life it never mattered what you thought? When we've liberated ourselves, we will have to ask ourselves who we are.